How was your day? Hi, hello everyone, we are Whyisitso, and welcome to our podcast series that often begins with why questions based on the first principle thinking method. This approach offers you diverse perspectives on various life issues and helps cultivate a truly vibrant spirit. Join us for this episode. Why do we love each other? Do you remember that moment when your heart skipped a beat for someone? In that instant, the world seemed to shrink, fitting just the silhouette of that one person. Everything about them suddenly became special: their smile, their eyes, their warm voice, or even just their smallest habits. You started noticing insignificant things, smiling to yourself when you thought of them, and feeling flustered at accidental encounters. It was like a sudden summer shower on a scorching day, refreshing the garden of your soul and making everything around you burst with new life. That was the moment love knocked on your door, making you suddenly realize how wonderful this life truly is. As the poet Xuendi once wrote, "How can one define love? It means nothing at all. One afternoon, it captures our soul with pale sunlight, gentle clouds, and a soft breeze." So, are these feelings just a fleeting crush, or have you ever asked yourself why you love that person? Is it their appearance, their personality, their intelligence, or a specific moment? And as time passes, when the initial sparks settle, when you realize that someone else also possesses similar special qualities, what then will make you stay? What will make you want to hold their hand and journey through life's storms with them? Ultimately, why do we love them and why do they love us? In today's podcast, let's explore these answers with Why Is It So? Why do we love someone? It's undeniable that when a relationship begins, the initial attraction often stems from physical appearance, a fleeting glance, a moment of accidental eye contact. It all plays out like a slow-motion scene from a youth romance in your mind, making your heart flutter at first sight. Especially in modern society, with the explosion of social media and dating apps, appearance has become the primary filter when we initiate a connection with someone. It's an instinctive allure, the first catalyst that sparks curiosity and a desire to discover more about the other person. But is physical attraction enough to keep two people together forever? Psychological studies have shown that attractiveness based on appearance tends to diminish over time as things become familiar. The human brain tends to adapt and reduce its response to repeated stimuli, or as time erodes youthful features, or when someone else appears with a fresher, more appealing look by certain standards. Love alone won't be strong enough to bind two people when internal conflicts or deep differences begin to surface. The early stage of love is often the most beautiful, but also the most fragile, because at that point, we are often in love with an idealized image, the best version of ourselves that both are trying to present. As time goes on and you have the chance to get to know the other person more deeply, you begin to feel a harmony of thoughts, perspectives on life, dreams, aspirations, and even hidden vulnerabilities. It's not just about facial features or physique. You gradually fall in love with their wit, humor, the intelligence in their stories, the kindness in their actions, or an empathetic soul that knows how to share. This is the stage where two individuals, originally from different worlds, connect to build a profound relationship based on understanding, respect, and genuine love, not merely what meets the eye or ear. Yet, after all is said and done, looking back, have you ever asked yourself if you love that person for who they are, or for how they make you feel about yourself when you're with them? This is an incredibly fascinating and profound aspect of the psychology of love, known as the emotional mirroring mechanism. When someone makes you feel genuinely accepted, understood without needing explanation, and allows you to be truly yourself without having to put up a facade, you tend to love and want to connect with them more deeply. They become a mirror reflecting the most beautiful, most hidden parts of you that you might never have recognized before. For instance, you might be naturally shy in a crowd, but when you're with the one you love, you suddenly become more confident, humorous, and engaging. Or perhaps you always worry and feel insecure about your flaws, but that person cherishes even those imperfections, making you feel completely loved. In such moments, love doesn't just come from the other person's essence, but also from the experience of being seen and understood when you're with them. The feeling of being cherished, respected, and being the best version of yourself alongside someone is what makes love complete and enduring. This is when love becomes a positive energy source, helping us overcome our limitations and discover unknown aspects of ourselves. However, for a relationship to reach a long-term commitment, there are indispensable factors that go beyond initial sparks or the feeling of being mirrored. Dr. John Van, author of How to Avoid Falling in Love with a Jerk, highlights that the key is to use both your head and your heart, taking time to truly understand the person you're loving through the FACES model. In this model, F stands for family background and foundation, reflecting how a person interacts with their family, how they were raised. The values they carry from their environment will profoundly influence how they build future relationships. A represents attitude and action when facing problems, encompassing the attitude and actions of a conscientious adult. C symbolizes compatibility, including harmony in core values, life goals, conflict resolution, and future perspectives. E reflects previous relationship patterns, revealing how a person has loved, broken up, and dealt with past hurts. The final element, S, stands for skills in relationship, which include communication ability, emotional regulation, constructive conflict resolution, and empathy. This FACES model is not a rigid formula, but a lens that helps us view the other person more objectively and deeply. By considering these factors, we don't just look at the romance of love, but also assess the potential to build a shared future. Love is not just a fleeting emotion, it's a conscious and responsible choice. We don't search for a perfect person, but for a compatible partner, attuned in perspective, personality, and values. So, why do they love us? Surely, many times, couples in love you or your partner might unexpectedly be hit with that profound question, "Why do you love me?" or vice versa. And then you might find yourself flustered, even scratching your head, unsure how to answer. This question isn't just a riddle, a test, or a love puzzle to solve. It opens up a deeper realm of contemplation. It's about being acknowledged, being loved, longing to be loved for who you truly are, and wanting your partner to recognize your core value. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, once basic physiological and safety needs are met, humans deeply crave love, belonging, and recognition. We want to know that we are valuable, unique, and fully accepted. It's a need to be affirmed, to have our presence and true self validated as meaningful to the other person. When the question, "Why do you love me?" is posed, the asker often hopes for an answer linked to a bright aspect of themselves, their intelligence, their gentle smile, their kindness, or a special talent. It's easy to see that while the answer, "I love you because you're intelligent and understanding," might sound pleasant, it's often not enough. Because our minds tell us we can do so many other things. We can sew and embroider, play instruments, dance and sing, manage people effectively, cook well, and maintain a home. Yet, these talents are often seen as generic, and they rarely bring deep satisfaction. If someone loves us only for these skills, what certainty is there that they won't leave us for someone else who possesses similar abilities? So what do we expect from this answer? Ultimately, why do we want them to love us? Consider this: what if your partner replaced, "I love you because you're intelligent," with, "My heart truly fluttered when I saw you playing with that little cat by the roadside"? Or, "At first, I fell for you because of your broad shoulders when you played basketball, but later, when I saw the calluses on your palms, I felt so much affection for you." That is truly special. The truly endearing things lie in those deeply personal observations that no one else can have. When someone starts noticing those small details, we feel that their love has become concrete and profound, not just vague or generic. Vague, generic compliments can sometimes feel like superficial interest, as if they wouldn't notice if our body were replaced by someone else's in the night. It might be true that we have beautiful eyes or soft hair, but those words could accurately apply to millions of other people. It's in these small details that we truly feel someone cares. "I love the freckle on your left forearm, it's just like you." It subtly says, "I am who I am, nothing extraordinary, but I am content with myself." It's humble, not flashy, but confident in its appeal, enough to draw in those who truly understand it. Furthermore, this question gradually becomes a silent test. Do you truly see *me, all of me, and still choose to love me? Will they love you without makeup, stand by you in failure, gently comfort you when you're vulnerable or when you express negative emotions? Or do they only love the perfect version you try so hard to present? Because, perhaps, deep down, a much greater longing always exists: the desire to be loved completely, including all imperfections. We want to be loved not just for our strengths, but also for our flaws and the hidden hurts we struggle to conceal. According to self-psychology, humans always have a need for their identity and intrinsic worth to be validated. True love is tested and strengthened when we accept and cherish even each other's less than perfect aspects. Only when these hidden corners are accepted and loved does love truly become enduring and profound. Ultimately, love is the result of a series of choices. Choosing to stay, choosing to confront, choosing to communicate, connect, choosing to learn how to solve problems, and choosing to grow together. A healthy relationship allows you to be imperfect, but also gives you reasons and motivation to become a more complete version of yourself every day. So, what is the ultimate answer to the question, why do we love each other? Perhaps there will never be a perfect, single answer to, why do you love me? Because true love cannot be confined by a few individual characteristics. Authentic love is the synthesis of many elements. It's a process where two souls intertwine, accepting both strengths and shortcomings. But in the very moment the question is asked, and the other person tries to answer as genuinely as possible, that's when both touch upon the deepest parts of themselves. It's when we yearn to be acknowledged, to know that our efforts and values we've nurtured are seen and appreciated, going beyond the recognition of existing traits. We don't just want to be loved for our radiant appearance, intelligence, or talent, but also for the depth of our soul, our hidden corners, and the unspoken hurts we haven't dared to reveal. And above all, we all wish to be loved for who we truly are, to be unconditionally accepted with everything that makes us, both good and not so good. True love doesn't just stop at the initial sparks ignited by the shiny, perfect things someone projects outwardly. It's when you see someone's unattractive parts and still choose to stay. You know they can be stubborn, headstrong, easily angered, or you've witnessed them retreat into silence, yet you don't withdraw. This isn't a love built on certain expectations or conditions, but a connection founded on deep understanding and profound compassion. And only when we learn to love in this way will we avoid regretting later that we loved incorrectly, or missed the chance to build a genuine, lasting relationship where both feel completely loved and safe to be themselves. Love isn't merely about finding a perfectly fitting piece. It's about two imperfect souls coming together to fill each other's gaps, creating a more complete picture. In such a relationship, neither partner is forced to change themselves to accommodate the other, nor do they have to live inauthentically to please their partner. Instead, harmony stems from companionship itself. When one person is worried or insecure, the other calmly guides the way. We can switch places, putting ourselves in our partner's shoes to empathize and find a shared path forward. Love is about complementing each other, not losing oneself, but helping both become better versions of themselves. Just as a poem once wrote, a home should have two people. One brews tea, one recites poetry. One dreams, one is practical. One is delicate, one is childlike. One never gives up, and the other never lets go. Though the world may change, how fortunate that a home always has two people. Love is not just a fleeting emotion, but a journey where we both remove our masks, ultimately choosing each other for each other, despite our imperfections. Love is a mirror that offers you the chance to reflect on mistaken beliefs and narrow perceptions of love, prompting you to strive for greater completeness and deeper love each day. And dear listener, we are often drawn to fairy tale romances where everything is rosy and without problems. But in reality, love is a journey where two imperfect people learn to love, accept, and grow together. The key to building a healthy, lasting relationship is a journey that requires profound understanding from both the heart and the mind. Love is not a destination but a continuous journey, where every day we learn something new about ourselves and about the one we love. It demands patience, empathy, and above all, unwavering commitment. Enduring love isn't about the absence of storms, but the ability to weather them together, so that after each tempest, the bond becomes even stronger. And perhaps the most beautiful thing about love is its elusive mystery, something that cannot be fully explained. It's a story each person writes with both their heart and their mind. So, are you ready to continue writing your own love story? I often fall asleep amidst dangers, never rushing to complain. We once lived ignoring time. But fate brought your mark into the chapter's end, a story we couldn't finish watching together. I often play the playlists we used to listen to. Even alone, it passes through the place where our hearts gently touched, where it was the first time, or brought gentle peace. Now, only my regret remains. I've never stopped remembering you for a day. Never stopped thinking of you for an hour. Never stopped belonging to anyone, never stopped loving you for a moment. I carry memories sinking into long-ago recollections, cherishing the name of a love once so profound. Thank you for having met each other. This lifetime, it seems, has been richly fulfilled. You're the only one I love. You're the only one I love. You're the only one I love. This lifetime, it seems, has been richly fulfilled.